The engine water pump, impeller type, is a centrifugal type. The inlet comes from the bottom of the radiator, and the outlet is through the impeller to the engine. The water pump ensures the continuous circulation of the coolant through the system. The coolant can carry heat from the engine to the radiator, and after cooling, it can circulate again through the channels inside the engine. Depending on the type of construction, mechanical water pumps can be seated in the pump housing itself, on the outside of the engine, or they can be seated directly on the engine block. The water pump is usually in front of the cylinder block, belt-driven from a pulley on the front of the crankshaft. A hose connects it to the bottom of the radiator, where the cooler liquid emerges. The engine water pump gasket is placed between the water pump and the engine block to prevent leakage. If left loose, it might leak, and if tightened too much, it might crack. The impeller is a rotor that is used to increase the pressure and flow of liquid inside a water pump. The impeller consists of a number of fins, and it is a press fit onto a spindle. The effectiveness of a water pump is determined by the impeller's specifications, its diameter, and the number of fins it has. The spindle is supported in a sealed double ball race, which is pre-packed with a special type of grease. The other end of the spindle carries the fan pulley. The spindle bearing enables the shaft to move continuously and steadily. It receives the turning force from the pulley and transfers it to the impeller. A seal assembly is fitted into the pump casing to prevent leaks and avoid bearing contamination. The fan pulley, which is driven by a V-belt from the crankshaft, acts as the power source for the impeller, thus generating the rotation forces needed for the engine water pump to function. Both spindle and impeller are mounted in a cast iron or aluminium alloy casing. The housing protects the water pump and prevents the coolant from leaking. A weep hole is a small hole on the bottom of the water pump. Its main purpose is to warn when the pump seals are about to fail. The impeller is rotated as the engine begins to start. The rapid rotation of the impeller causes coolant to be impelled along the impeller blades by the action of centrifugal force, causing it to be thrown off the edge of the impeller, and then directed around the cooling system via the pump outlet. Coolant displaced from the radiator refills the pump and ensures continuous circulation throughout the cooling system. If the thermostat valve is closed, the coolant leaving the pump is returned to the pump inlet via a bypass connection. The water pump is driven by the crankshaft through a timing belt or drive accessory belt, serpentine belt. The timing belt has horizontal teeth and is located inside the engine, keeping the crankshaft and camshaft in sync. A serpentine belt has multiple V-shaped grooves that run vertically along the belt, connecting the engine crankshaft on the outside of the engine to all the engine accessories.